York Rangers are presented by Chase and 18,000 faithful making their way back into Madison Square Garden in New York. Back on the 9th of December, the Rangers went to Vancouver and lost 2-1. Tonight on home ice, where they've been good, they look to return the favor. Good evening, everybody. I'm Al Trautwig. Well, after the greatest start in franchise history, things have definitely turned into something strange. For the Rangers on the road, it's one step forward, one step back. Things that they used to be good at, they're no longer good at. But things can turn in any one game, and who knows, maybe tonight's the night. Let's go to Sam Rosen and Joe Micheletti. Sam?
Thanks, Al. Good evening, everyone. I loved what Dave Maloney said on the pregame show about the moms giving their sons advice. Keep smiling. Do whatever you have to do to stay in the lineup.
I think they're the only ones that realize there's still a half of a season to be played yet, and Al makes a good point about, about things that aren't happening with this team, and they need to get it all together. But there are a lot of games left, and I think the mom's advice was good.
I don't know exactly what Chris Kreider's mom told him, but I could imagine that she might have just said, keep scoring goals.
Yeah, well, Dave talked about that, too, and the point he made was a good one. When he keeps things simple and doesn't overthink the game, and just uses his incredible raw talent, then good things happen. And that's really what we've been seeing lately. His ability to just, use his speed here, get in the open, and go to the net. Does that, gets a perfect pass from Nash, puts it in. How about this? Goes to the net here, fights his way in. He's difficult to stop because of his size and strength. Okay, and then find the puck and use the shot. Take the shot. He does that. Now he seems to have his confidence back. He's obviously been a player for the Rangers that's been front and center, one of the better players in the last few games.
Now the matchup at center tonight could be very, very important for Vancouver. Their best player and captain, Henrik Sedin, is out of the lineup, just injured in the game against the Islanders. For the Rangers, Derek Brassard has the flu. He's out. Derek Stepan could be the key.
Sam, the simplicity of this is you have to win the center ice competition tonight. You have to, with those players that you mentioned on the lineup. It's a very young lineup, and they don't win many faceoffs. And so Derek Stepan, who's been getting closer and closer into getting his game, he's got to have it tonight. He's got to be the catalyst. He's got to make plays. He has to win faceoffs. He's got to be good on the penalty kill. He's got to be the best center on the ice tonight. If he is, the Rangers win.
Yeah, you talked about young players for Vancouver. Their top two centermen in this game are 20 years old and 19 years old. Our scouting report is brought to you by your local tri-state area Land Rover retailers. Bo Horvat, 20 years old, first-round draft pick in 2013. Jared McCann is 19 years old, first-round draft pick in 2014.
Well, guess what? The future of the team just got put in the immediate right now, because they've got to be the two guys, first and second line centers. They're both real good players, but you can't expect two kids that age without much experience to carry the load. That's why the Rangers need to take advantage of that inexperience.
Well, the Rangers also have to find a way to score on Ryan Miller, a familiar face in goal for Vancouver. 46 saves against the Islanders with a 2-1 win in a shootout. Rick Nash is the man the Rangers are counting on to find a way to score against Ryan Miller. Rangers and Canucks are next. We are back getting set for the Rangers and Vancouver Canucks at Madison Square Garden. Closed captioning tonight is brought to you by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play. Let's check out our Audi goaltending matchup. Henrik Lundqvist back in goal. Had the day off in the game against Washington. 20 wins on the season. 650th career start for the Rangers goaltender. And there's Ryan Miller. Recently back from injury. Jacob Markstrom played very well in his absence. 5-2-1. He was tremendous against the Islanders the other night in Brooklyn. 46 saves and a 2-1 win in a shootout. The Islanders didn't score until the final minute of regulation in that game. Derek Stepan opens up with Chris Kreider and J.T. Miller. Kevin Klein and Keith Yandle. Klein after missing one game. Yandle with room. Big drive off the post. Oh, what a shot. And it rang off the post. Just missed. Brandon Prust, the former Ranger, number 9, clears it out.
Boy, what a pass from Kevin Klein behind the back to a wide-open Keith Yandle, and he had all day to do whatever he wanted.
See the lineups coming in at the top of your screen, brought to you by Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance. Dan Girardi just off the bench. The shot got through. Miller the save. And he holds on with Rick Nash right there looking for the puck.
Well, great first shift by the Rangers. They were able to get the puck in quickly. Keith Yandle wants the puck. You see him over there. He doesn't get it on the direct pass, gets it on the second one, and uses the screen in front to let this shot go. And Miller, you could just see Miller didn't see it. He didn't move on that shot, and it goes off the post and out the other way.
With Derek Brassard out, Kevin Hayes moves into his slot between Rick Nash and Matt Zuccarello. This is Daniel Sedin with the puck for Vancouver, and he fanned on the shot as he was checked by McDonough. Rangers break down 3-on-1. Here's Nash. Save. Miller. Rebound. Miller reached out and stopped it. It went off his own man and was sliding toward the goal line, and he reached out with a stick and stopped it.
That all starts with defense in the Ranger zone. Daniel Sedin, without his brother Henrik, gives the puck away there. Here comes the Rangers 3-on-1. And now the Rangers, another great chance. Nash with one. There's the deflection that you mentioned, Sam. And then Kevin Hayes was there also for another chance. So the Rangers turned that defensive play into an excellent scoring chance. Got to finish some of those.
That's right.
Had a couple of high-quality chances to start.
Here's Bo Horvat, number 53, who has been playing very, very well over the last 7 games. He has come alive offensively.
Yeah.
After a very, very rough start to the season.
He did 6 goals in those 7 games, as you mentioned, Sam. Again, he's just a kid. But physically, he's very mature. He's a strong, strong kid.
Rangers have Oscar Lindberg centering Jesper Fast and Victor Ståhlberg, the all-Swedish line for the Rangers. Puck moved up by Alex Biega and taken back by Victor Ståhlberg. Rangers with Mark Stahl and Dan Boyle on defense. Boyle heads off and Kevin Klein jumps on.
Now you've seen these early chances by the Rangers. This is just kind of the way things have been for Vancouver. It's a team, as we've talked about, they're missing some players. They're young in certain areas, old in other areas. 3 consecutive games they've given up at least 40 shots against.
Lyndon Vey to Alex Burrows. Tough shot, good save by Lundqvist. Big drive by Alexander, deflected away. Comes back to Chris Tanev. Tanev swings it around the boards. Edler gets over. And across to Tanev. Out to him quickly was Dominic Moore, Rangers' 4th line on. Edler's shot blocked again. And by Jason Megna, who's back in the lineup with Brassard out. Burrows swinging around, gets the shot off, save, rebound Vey, went over the top. Lundqvist has been tested early and has come up with a couple of big saves.
That was an outstanding effort by Burrows to just muscle his way in from behind the net to in front to get a shot.
He's trying to move the puck out of the zone, can't do it. It's kept in by Ben Hutton, number 27. Now Burrows leaves it there for Cracknell, out to Hutton and across to Spiza. Spiza misses, wide, played back to the point to Hutton. The hit was Kreider. Vancouver has kept the puck in the zone for 2 shifts here.
Yeah, they gave up 2 quality scoring chances, and then they come down and put pressure on themselves.
And look at Kreider. Forces way into Vancouver zone, takes it deep, maintains possession, winds it around after the Boyle in front save. Miller on Miller. JT Miller got a piece of it, and Ryan Miller made the save. Yandle fires it back in. So the team's taking turns getting some quality chances. Brandon Prost sends it in. Another former Ranger, Derek Dorsett, gets to it. Shot to the side of the net was stopped by Lundqvist. And played by Stepan to Nash. Nash dumps it ahead and chases after it, and no icing. Playing good hustle by Rick Nash. Now the puck taken back by Dorsett. And playing it across to Bartkowski. All the way back in the Rangers zone. Yandle. Tested there by Jared McCann, number 91. He's the young center iceman, taking over Henrik Sedin's spot. Sedin was hit by Mikhail Grabowski of the Islanders. Good shot by Zuccarello and a save by Ryan Miller. And Sedin, injured in the first period of that game, is expected to be out through the All-Star break. Daniel Sedin, who needs just 1 goal to become the franchise leader in goals scored. Right now he is tied with Marcus Naslund, who played here with the New York Rangers for one season. Stolberg slides it across. Lindbergh shoots. Save, rebound, save by Miller. Oh, again, Miller with two great saves. And the puck picked up by Hansen.
Miller loves playing here, Sam. He loves the big stage. Boy, oh boy, what a start. He's made 6 saves, and 5 of them excellent.
Rangers get it out of the zone. Jesper Fast across to JT Miller. Cuts in and tried to beat Spiza. Spiza stayed with him. That's Sven Baertschi, number 47. On Calgary Flame. Puck fired around the boards by Hutton and cleared out by Spiza to Radim Vrbata. Here's Hutton, who scored his first NHL goal in the game against the Islanders. Takes a deep save on a tough shot. Hutton with confidence. Rangers the other way. Kreider moves in. Now it's Stepan around the net. Looking to make a play. Looks toward the net and shoots. Deflected wide with Miller screened in front. Bodies everywhere. JT Miller trying to take it away from Alex Biega. Kreider is there. Kreider pries it loose, but Horvat is able to move it. Here's Vrbata, lifting it out of the zone. 6:20 gone by and a good pace for this first period.
Great pace. Both teams getting scoring chances. Here's another one coming up.
Moore's pass was tipped, and Glass gives it up to Biega, and the Canucks head the other way. And Boyle stops it. Stick handle out of the zone. The former Ranger Emerson Edom is on, number 26. So 3 former Rangers in the Vancouver lineup in this game. Lyndon Vey pushes it back. And that's Barkowski, number 24, playing for Vancouver. No score in the game, 7 minutes gone by, first period. Alex Burrows, the pass behind Vey. He was offside. 7:02 gone by in the first. Good chances on both ends. This is Ben Hutton, the defenseman, testing Henrik Lundqvist. Saved by Lundqvist.
The Rangers have outshot the Canucks 6-4 here in the early going, and boy, is Ryan Miller putting on a show. That's Stolberg with the pass in the middle and then goes to the net. Lindbergh one shot, Stolberg with the rebound, Miller stops them both, and then JT Miller in front with this one. And Miller able to make the save with the stick. The Rangers getting to those high quality scoring areas, but unable to finish here to start this game.
Hayes, Nash, and Zuccarello on for the Rangers with Yandel and Klein. Yandel fires it in. Ryan Miller stops it. 4th game of a 6-game road trip for the Vancouver Canucks. And the puck taken back by Zuccarello. Set up to Nash. Didn't get it cleanly. Miller was down and they couldn't find the puck. Hayes couldn't get a clean shot off. Franco stopped by Klein and the puck cleared out by Yandel. Played there by Edler. On the boards, Yandel trying to sweep it to the other side. He's come by Derek Dorson, number 15. Brandon Bush, number 9 there as well. And a good job by Yandel to get free. There's Kreider against Ben Hutton. Kreider goes around. Hutton stays with him. And gets help from Cracknell up ahead to Dorset.
Ben Hutton, University of Maine product last season. His first OU Sam was 39th NHL game. They like him.
Oh yeah,
he's going to be a real solid player for them.
There's Kreider with Stepan. Stepan winds it deep. Kreider chases it down. Daniel Sedin is there. Now Spiza pushing it back to Hutton. Off the boards for Hansen. Jannik Hansen clearing it out. 2-on-1 developing. Daniel Sedin looking for McCann. Backhander a save. Trying to surprise Lundqvist with a turnaround backhander.
I think Lundqvist has seen that a few times from his Swedish friend and teammate on a lot of different occasions.
Kevin Hayes holding, rather McDonough holding behind the net. Long pass by Girardi, tipped deep in the Vancouver zone. Stolberg got a shot off. Miller waiting for it at the post. Makes the save. John Giannone is between the benches. What's happening down there, John?
I'll tell you what, Sam, in the pregame I talked to JT Miller. He said the most important focus of this team was the first 10 minutes. They wanted to establish the tempo and the pace of the game. They've done that so far. They're happy about that. But Ryan Miller has the Rangers talking to themselves mostly in four-letter words. And I will tell you as well, both defensive coaches did a lot of talking to their team during that last commercial timeout. Ulf Sandalson of the Rangers, Doug Lidster of the Vancouver Canucks, not so satisfied so far with the way their teams are defending.
Rangers win another faceoff. Thanks, John. We'll be checking in with John throughout the game. Canucks take it away. Barchi moves it ahead for Horvat. Horvat challenges Boyle. Puts it around the net. In front, they score! Horvat makes the play to Sven Barchi. And the Vancouver Canucks jump in front, 1-0.
How about that speed and power of Horvat? Wow, did he turn on the brakes. The Canucks do a good job there defensively. They take the puck away from Nash, and now look at the speed. Horvat around, and there's Barchi, who is a kid that's really coming on. Barchi's got all kinds of skill and was originally drafted by Calgary, and it's starting to come for Barchi. He's starting to live up to the expectations, and the Canucks with the lead.
We were talking to one of their assistant coaches, a former Rangers assistant, Coach Barry Bird, who said Barchi, he may be the next highest skilled player after this game.
That's quite the compliment.
Barchi gets his 8 from Horvat at 9:02. And for Bo Horvat, that's 10 points in his last 8 games. 6 goals and 4 assists. Canucks come in again. Pass for Lyndon Vay was broken up by Yandel. So the Canucks jump on top at 9:02. Ryan Miller holds that long shot. And the former Vancouver Canucks coach, Alain Vigneault, certainly he knows, and he's addressed it with his assistant coaches, the problems that the Rangers have had in their recent games.
Well, the thing you like about Alain Vigneault, and then he starts talking about the special teams, and he says, you know what, it falls on me. I make the final decision on power play and how we're going to play it. I make the final decision on penalty killing, even though he gives his assistants and, plenty of room and time to run those things. But he has the final decision, and he says, oh, that's on me.
Around the boards, Plus plays it back. Dominic Moore takes it. Fourth line against fourth line. Shot by Moore. Hit Ben Hutton. And it's cleared out of the zone. Jason Megna back for it. Plus bearing down on him.
There was some talk in the Vancouver papers that Plus was going to be a healthy scratch in this one, but Willie Desjardins said, no, he's a former Ranger. We got to put him in there.
Keeping the Vancouver zone. Spiza trying to move it. Vancouver also without a frontline defenseman, Dan Andrews, who was hurt in the game against the Rangers in December when he hit with a puck. Shot hit him to the side of the face. There's a chance down low, and another save by Ryan Miller. Megna fell down. Derek Dorsett takes it out. Girardi back for it. Girardi with McDonough. The Rangers captain moves it up. Step on for JT Miller, lifts it in. Ryan Miller pushes it away with a blocker. Kreider trying to play it. Bartkowski moves it, gave it away to JT Miller. Stahl shoots wide off the end board. Stepan is there. There's Biega on him. Kreider playing it back. Down low, open. And the shot by Dan Boyle deflected away. Boyle was open at the bottom of the circle. The puck was cleared down the ice, will turn into an icing. No, icing waved off. Mark Stahl plays it. Daniel Sedin chasing him. 1-0 Vancouver leading it. 8:40 to go in the first period. JT Miller to Mark Stahl, leaves it for Kreider. Kreider's feed, gets it back from Stepan. Around the net against Tannen. Out to Kevin Klein. Big drive save on a deflection by Mark Stahl. Big shot by Kevin Klein. Good deflection by Stahl. Ryan Miller has stopped 12 Rangers shots. 1-0 Vancouver.
Cardinal Troutwig hanging with JB Smoove, which is always a fun thing to do. It's your life story on Beginnings Friday night, and 4 courses get started next week. What have you learned about dinner conversation? What's the most important thing?
Keep people full and keep them light on the drinks, because sometimes my guests get out of control when they get more than 2 drinks. It goes sideways sometimes.
Now, who's responsible for you being here? If you had to give credit to someone, who would it be?
Oh, right now, being here at the game right now?
No, with your career.
Oh, my career. You know what? I'm giving credit to patience, man. Patience and just loving what I do and loving making people laugh and have a good time. And, you know, my upbringing. You know, and beginnings will show that. It will show how humble I am, where I came from, how fun it is being a comedian, how fun it is being from Mount Vernon, how fun it is having a funny mother, a funny brother, a funny family. And, you know, I'm just blessed to be busy.
Thanks, man. You look sharp.
Hey, always, brother. I appreciate you.
Sam, back to you.
Thanks, Sal. Thanks to J.B. Smith.
Hey.
4 courses, anytime.
Chris Rock is going to
that's
be
right.
his guy. Oh, can you imagine if he has more than 2 glasses of wine?
Ooh, JB has put the limit down. I can see it right now. 2's your limit, Chris. That's it.
Boy,
Bo Horvat went hard into the boards, and he's skating toward the bench slowly.
There's a hit by Clyde.
Stopped at the line, turned the other way by Alex Burrows. And that's broken up and comes to Hutton. Hutton keeps in pass for Burrows. Went off the skate of Fost. Stolberg able to get it out of the zone.
Is that where you grew up, Mount Vernon?
No, not Mount Vernon. I was Borough Park, Brooklyn.
Oh.
I think our director, Larry Roth, is Mount Vernon.
A lot of funny people grow up in Mount Vernon, aren't there, Sam?
A lot of good baseball players, some great athletes. Ken Singleton, the Williams brothers, Gus and Ray, the McRae brothers. Oh, some great athletes out of Mount Vernon. Tanner Glass. Out to the point man. Dan Boyle. Now Mark Stahl. A shot deflected. Seemed to go off Jesper Fost and wide of the net. 6:40 to go here in the first. Rangers have had 12 shots on goal here in the first. Glass puts it in the corner. On the corner after. Checked there by Kraktel. Barkowski moves it to Biega. And here's Brandon Prost. Dunna up ahead to Moore. Into the Vancouver zone. Barkowski back for it. Barkowski holds. Garden is quiet right now. Vancouver doing exactly what they want to do on the road.
Scored the first goal. They got the goaltending from Miller to start this game, keep the Rangers off the scoreboard, and then they get the first one.
Deep into the Ranger zone. Prost after, along with Girardi. Girardi ahead of Prost. Prost twice into the linesman's call, and it's an icing on Vancouver. Tonight on MSG, what happens when a curse turns into a blessing? Go inside the Rangers' 1994 Stanley Cup Final against the Vancouver Canucks on the Garden's Defining Moments, presented by SAP. That's tonight following Rangers post-game coverage here on MSG. And that is the SAP Concourse and the Interactive Wall here at the Garden. Barkowski off the boards into the Ranger zone. Dan Boyle takes over. Kreider. Back forward is Edler. Miller on him. Miller with a hit. Canucks able to come out. Hansen's pass broken up by Kreider. McCann, number 91, on the forecheck for Vancouver. Here's Kreider picking up the loose puck. Dumping it into the corner. Swung on and missed by Hansen. Miller takes it behind the net. McCann picks him up. And it's brought out by Daniel Sedin. Hansen ran into his own man, McCann, but still has the puck. Shot by Sedin, a save by Lundqvist. Good shot by Daniel Sedin. Now Zuccarello will get it to Rick Nash. Nash trying to dump it in at his block. Yandel for Nash. Too far, all the way down. Turns into an icing on the Rangers. 4:50 to go here in the first period. Second-year coach, Willie Desjardins.
Yeah. He's had a long, long career in hockey, in junior hockey. In fact, that was one of the reasons why Vancouver made the trade to get Emerson Edom, is because Edom played for Willie Desjardins, his final year in junior hockey.
And Willie telling us today that Emerson Edom has gotten good coaching along the way.
Yeah.
In Anaheim and in New York, he says, boy, he's a very, very improved player.
He is. He had a meeting with him yesterday, and he pulled him aside. And he says, you know, Emerson, he says, you're a much better defensive player now than you were before.
Chance for Hayes, saved by Ryan Miller.
Ryan Miller's been good. So Emerson Edom will get a chance to get a lot of ice time here.
Rabada moves in and shoots. Went off the stick of Lundqvist. Another shot saved with a left hand. And Lundqvist dives on top with Bo Horvat there. Berchi almost had another one. Lundqvist coming up with a big save. 4:14 to go in the first. 1-0 Vancouver. DraftKings brings us our DraftKings Spotlight. Spotlight on Chris Kreider, who has a 3-game point scoring streak. 2-game goal scoring streak with 3 goals. And his only hat trick of his NHL career against the Vancouver Canucks here at the Garden, November 30th, 2013. Play daily fantasy hockey on DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of the New York Rangers. Lyndon Vey and Oscar Lindberg for the face-off. Rangers away with the puck. Stallberg got it out of the zone. No penalties thus far in the game. Vey sends it into the Rangers zone. Girardi after against Emerson Edom. Rangers trading Emerson Edom for Nicholas Jensen, who's from Denmark, but has gone down to Hartford and has played very well. The Hartford Wolfpack have won 5 in a row. Here's a chance for Lindberg, and that was a save by Miller.
Miller's putting on a show here.
Oh,
I mean, the Rangers can't get better chances than what they've had. And those are all opportunities from the slot, 10, 15, 20 feet out in front of Miller, and he's stopping everything.
He's on his game. Brandon Puss gives it up. Kevin Klein plays it back to Keith Yandel. 3:15 to go in the first. Chipped off the boards and played deep into the Vancouver zone. Hutton up ahead, Dorsett. Dorsett gets shoved down by Tanner Glass. And they got tangled up and both went down. Dominic Moore comes in. Moore against Hutton and took a hit from Cracknell. Tanner Glass wraparound save by Miller. Keith Yandel drive deflects wide. Glass up the boards to Klein. Now Yandel. Back to Klein. In deep for Tanner Glass. Fourth line doing a good job for the Rangers here. Now Dorsett able to lift it out of the zone. Yandel back for it. Good shift for the Rangers fourth line. 2:25 to go in the first period. Rangers 15 shots on goal. Long lead. That's deflected off of Hansen, but played by Bartkowski. But as you said, Joe, earlier, Vancouver gives up a lot of shots, and the goaltenders have been stopping them. Good play in front by McDonough.
That's what's giving Vancouver a chance for the playoffs. They're only 2 games over 500, but it's a weak division.
Off the board, Stepan sets up McDonough, and may have gone off the glove of Miller.
And then I think the post.
Kreider tried to take it back. Stepan after it. Rangers were not given credit for a shot on goal. Here's Sven Barchi again. Pass across. Just missed by Alex Edler. Edler lost it. Rangers come out. Derek Stepan moving in. Stepan saved by Miller, and he's got it. Chris Tanev with the defenseman back. Stepan getting the chance. And once again, Ryan Miller the save.
Yeah, this first period has been all Ryan Miller. Boy, what a job he's done. Good job here on the forecheck. Turns into this chance by Oscar Lindberg. And just diving over is Miller. And then after that, Zuccarello with the setup to Kevin Hayes. And then how about McDonough? That's the one that I believe just ticked off the post. 16 shots for the Rangers here in this first period.
The puck all the way down. Dan Boyle there to play. Archie gets a piece of him. The puck out of the zone. A minute 15 to go in the first period. Kevin Hayes. Bada in on the forecheck. Mark Stahl. Around to Zuccarello. 1 minute to go in this first period. Cleared out by Boyle. Archie's got it. And Verbata. Vancouver Canucks with a 1-0 lead. Rangers had chances in this first period. Ryan Miller has come up with big saves. Hayes with the setup. The shot saved made by Miller on a big shot by Yandel.
I think that was deflected too by Stallberg in front. He's had 3 or 4 chances in this first period.
Canucks force it out of the zone. Burrows gets it deep into the Rangers' end. Yandel's had a couple of big shots in this period. Edler to Chris Tanev. Deep. Emerson Edom leaves it for Lyndon Vay. Edom and Vay were teammates in junior hockey.
Yeah, they do the smart thing. They put them together on the same line.
Edler, who's tied up. Puck deep as the horn sounds, ending the first period. Rangers 17 shots on goal. Once again, they do a lot of good things. They couldn't beat Ryan Miller in that first period.
You know what, though, Sam, what I liked is that just about every line for the Rangers generated some offense. You go right on down the lineup. Kreider was good again. He had some chances. So did Stepan. We mentioned that third line of the all Swedish players. They had a good period. They just have to try and stay with it.
We are back, getting set for the second period. Rangers and Vancouver Canucks. New York Rangers hockey on MSG is presented by Chase. Let's check out our Kia Eastern Conference standings. Rangers still in third place in the Metropolitan Division with 53 points. But check out those teams fighting for the wild card spot. Ottawa at 50. Pittsburgh, Rangers division team. Devils, 49 points. Devils playing tonight against Calgary. And that game is 1-1 going to the second period. Flyers at 48 points. You see how close the race is in the Eastern Conference. These points are vital. Yes, we're just past the midway point of the season, but this is quite a race that will continue the rest of the way.
The Flyers have put themselves back in the middle of the pack for a playoff spot. They won a big game against Detroit 2 nights ago, and they're playing tonight. Was that last night? 2 nights ago.
No,
tonight. Or what was it?
Two nights ago. Sunday night,
right?
That's right.
So they're back playing at home tonight. They're playing the Maple Leafs. That's 1-1 that game.
Toronto has lost 5 in a row.
Yeah.
They're struggling, but the Flyers, you mentioned the Flyers, they got 3 points out of that weekend against the Rangers in Detroit.
And you know what? And the Pittsburgh Penguins are getting better. They're playing better. Mike Sullivan's gotten in there. He's done a good job. I'm sure he doesn't have them where he wants them yet, but you can see signs of a team that's getting better. And Sidney Crosby is starting to put points on the board.
Underway second period, and we've got an icing on the Rangers to start the period. What to look for here, Joe?
Well, I think the Rangers, when they look at their game, they had so many quality chances. They're going to have to look for a few more rebounds. I think on the rebounds that they did have in the first period, they got to go up a little bit higher with the shots. Go up because he's going down to make the save. Rebound has to go upstairs over the shoulder, just under the crossbar.
Stepan, Miller and Kreider, Klein, and Yandel for the Rangers. Klein plays it to JT Miller under pressure from Verbata. Miller gets away. Here comes Yandel. Pass across, Kreider. Back into the middle, Miller. Out for the shot by Stepan that went wide. Yandel. Kevin Klein with a drive off the end boards, and Miller was able to bat it away from Stepan.
That's a heck of a save. Stepan had room on that short side, and he just turned around with the stick and put it in the right spot.
And a whistle for an offside on the Canucks. 42 seconds gone by here in the second.
Well, there's no question the Rangers are going to continue to get chances as they did in the first period. And here's our Buick RoboCam. And watch this save here with the stick of Miller in goal. Shot will miss, and then there it is right there. Stepan was just going to put it in the short side. Look at that room, and what a save. Boy, oh boy, what a save. Miller's putting on some kind of show here at Madison Square Garden.
The RoboCam replay brought to you by the new Buick. Buick, your kind of luxury. And again, he's coming off a 46 save performance against the Islanders. Islanders outshot Vancouver 22-4 in the third period of that game. And they were only able to get a tie in the third period, in the final minute of the period.
Right.
When they pulled the goaltender. McDonough winds it deep to Hayes. Nash is at the top of the crease. Hayes trying to find an opening. Pass blocked by Ben Hutton. Taken away. Hayes. Hutton stays on him, moves in front of him, tried to move the puck, who's blocked by McDonough. Good work along the boards by Ryan McDonough. Hayes takes the puck, fires it out to Dan Boyle. Now to Rick Nash. One-timer went off the skate of McCann. Daniel Sedin tried to move it, stopped by McDonough. Zuccarello gave it up to Hutton. Hutton's clearing attempt, stopped at the line. Great play by Lindbergh. Pass from Zuccarello deflected out of the zone by McCann.
Boy, is that a good play by McCann, the 19-year-old. Vancouver just can't handle the Rangers' pressure.
Now the Rangers have to cash in. A hit by Stolberg on Edom. Boyle puts in the corner to Oscar Lindbergh. Lindbergh tried to feed Fost. He was checked as he went for the one-timer. Stahl. Now Dan Boyle forced back by Lyndon Vay. Up the boards. Rangers come out. Nice move by Stolberg. Stolberg moves in. Drives hard to the net. Centers, and it went by Oscar Lindbergh. She was checked by Matt Bartkowski. Stolberg along the boards, and then it's cleared out by Brandon Prust.
Stolberg had 4 shots on goal in the first period.
A giveaway by Mark Stahl, moving in, save off the helmet of Henrik Lundqvist, went way up in the air. Derek Dorsett with a shot, and a hand pass was whistled on the play. Brandon Prust appealing to the referee as to where the face-off should be.
Yeah, and there's Dorsett with the shot just off that right shoulder. He actually moved the head, got the head out of the way, and used the right shoulder to make the save. That's a pretty good scoring chance after the Rangers had sustained pressure in the Vancouver zone.
Chris Rooney and Dean Morton are the referees tonight. Face-off outside. Moore, Glass, and Megna on the ice. Linesman pushes Megna and Prust back. Moore plays it back to Klein and across to Yandel. Pass to Jason Megna. Shot went off the defenseman Edler. Edler moves it up. Stopped by Megna. Rangers gain possession. Dominic Moore. Tanner Glass. One-time Vancouver Canuck. Gets tripped up on the play by Derek Dorsett. Not detected by either referee. Kevin Klein reverses to Yandel. Dorsett on him. Dominic Moore takes over. Way up in the air, batted down by Bartkowski. And it's whistled down for an offside on the play. 3:35 gone by here in this second period. Friday night on MSG2, the Rangers take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Live coverage begins at 6:30 with Visa Rangers Game Night with Bill Pito. Rangers and the Hurricanes Friday night on MSG2 at 7 p.m. Check MSGNetworks.com for channel locations in your area. Carolina has been an improved team. And a team that is challenging for a playoff spot.
Good young defense on that team, Sam.
Yes.
They're getting a pretty good year out of Eric Stahl.
He's got to make a decision on whether to keep him or not. That's going to be a big decision. There's Kreider. Pass down low was tipped. Stepan has it back to JT Miller. Saved by Ryan Miller. Battle behind the net. Penalty upcoming on Vancouver. Girardi to McDonough to Zuccarello. Rangers get an extra skater on. Out to McDonough. Fakes the shot. Zuccarello. Pass across. Kreider shot. Save. Rebound. Score! Derek Stepan has tied it and won. Wow, the Rangers Rangers move the puck beautifully with the extra skater on.
Now Chris Kreider draws the penalty. Bartkowski was going to be penalized on this play after the work behind the net. There it is, holding on to Kreider, trying to slow him down. He lets go, but by that point, delayed penalty. Lundqvist leaves the net. Rangers get an extra body on, and they just take their time, move the puck, find the open man, and then go to the net. And there's Derek Stepan. We talked about him at the top of the show, that he's got to have a big game, and he ties it.
So on the delayed penalty, the Rangers take advantage. Rick Nash was big in front of the net. Here's Nash moving deep with the puck. Game tied at 1. Nash maintains possession. Alex Edler on him. Nash shoots off the post. Oh, what a shot by Rick Nash. Man, did he get a lot of that shot.
Screen shot. 3 posts for the Rangers in this game.
Daniel Sedin fires it deep. Alex Edler, the defenseman, is there. Puck past McCann to Daniel Sedin in front. Tipped away for Hansen. Hansen got knocked down on a hit from behind by Matt Zuccarello. Derek Stepan gets his 9th from Nash and Kreider at 4:18. And Chris Kreider now has a 4-game point-scoring streak with 3 goals and 2 assists. Centered for Zuccarello, but he was checked on the play. Taken back by Stolberg. Good shot, a save by Ryan Miller. Stolberg again. Rangers continue to put the pressure on. 21 shots for the Rangers. Gandil fires a hard pass deflected out of play way up into the crowd.
I wonder what Stolberg's mom said to him. It was some words of encouragement. He's been great. Meanwhile, here's Nash. Just nearly gives the Rangers the lead as he throws it right out in front. There you see the screen in front of Miller, and then the goal. Good puck movement, shot, and 2 Rangers there. Stepan puts it in to tie it for the Rangers.
An important goal for the Rangers. They finally break through on Ryan Miller. Rangers 22 shots, Vancouver 12. Alex Biega tipped ahead by Derek Dorsett. Boyle pressured there by Cracknell. Rangers have it. Oscar Lindberg's pass was tipped. Played across. Here's Yandel. It's cleared out by Brandon Prost. Taken right back by Dan Boyle. On the boards, Biega. That was a pass and almost turned into a shot. Bartkowski was able to stop it. Dorsett sweeps it out. Dominic Moore. Kreider played it back. Rangers finish a line change. Girardi ahead for Tanner Glass. In deep for Moore. Steered into the corner by Ryan Miller. Magda back pass to McDonough. McDonough against Emerson Edom, who stayed right with him. Long shot by Moore, saved by Miller, who holds it. 6:35 gone by. Second period. Rangers break through. Derek Stepan, extra man on the ice. Rangers score. Time for Blue Seat Memories. This day in Rangers history, presented by Resorts World Casino, New York City. Proud sponsor of the Rangers Blue Seats. January 19th, 1955, the Gumper. Gump Worsley, 41 saves, a shutout in a 2-0 win against the Detroit Red Wings. And another Hall of Famer, Andy Bathgate, scored 2 goals in that one. The Gumper, who was outstanding as a Ranger, but the teams weren't all that good, got traded to Montreal and became a Hall of Famer.
Not a bad career.
Yes. He was a
Great guy, too.
Lorne Gump Worsley.
What a personality.
Tipped into the Vancouver zone. Ryan Miller stops it. Lifted out by Tanev. Hit the helmet of Alex Burrows, brought in by Emerson Edom, and he gets a shot off that went wide. Edler didn't get that shot cleanly. Lyndon Bay fell down, and the Rangers able to clear it out. Back into the Ranger zone. Edom after it. Emerson Edom takes over. His 3rd team in the NHL. Anaheim, Rangers, now Vancouver. Shot blocked in front. A lot of bodies there. Rangers come out with it. Chris Kreider with JT Miller. Kreider for Miller, that was broken up by Hutton. Kreider him. Played by Sven Barchi. Barchi and Stepan, the goal scorers in the game. Lead for Sven Barchi. Barchi dumps it in. McDonough able to work it ahead for Girardi, who lifts it clear. Spiza. Spiza started his career with the Philadelphia Flyers. He was traded to Anaheim in the Chris Pronger deal. And then traded to Vancouver in the Ryan Kestel deal. Big trades.
He's just back, too. He missed.
Lundqvist made a save. Makes a great save on the rebound to Rob Barchi. Oh, man. What a huge save by Henrik Lundqvist.
Barchi was able to get his own rebound.
Nash keeps it alive, taking it deep. He's hit there by Biega. Biega took him down. Barkowski tried to play it. Hayes takes it away. Kevin Hayes. Kevin Klein shot deflects off the end boards. Hayes after it. Barkowski moves it. Penalty upcoming.
Yeah, this will be Biega. Got the stick up. And so the Rangers in a 1-1 game will get a power play. Meanwhile, Barchi, who has the only goal for Vancouver, has this chance on the rebound. What a save by Lundqvist. Gets there. Lundqvist had to make the first save, then gets the other one, and there's Biega. Gets the stick up high on Zuccarello. Biega is not big. He's only 5'9". Harvard product, and he's a smart player, but he's in the penalty box now.
Rangers power play, their first of the game. It's presented by Volkswagen. McDonough to Miller, shot wide, hard slap shot all the way out, and the speedy Jannik Hansen gets to it. But a good job by McDonough getting back to him.
The speedy McDonough caught him.
That goes on goal. Lundqvist leaves it for Keith Yandel. Biega for cross-checking at 8:43. Rangers were going to get a power play when they scored their first goal. We got an extra skater on the delayed penalty and scored. Bo Horvat short-handed. Horvat on with Alex Burrows for Vancouver. Rangers have Kreider, Stepan, Miller, Boyle, and Yandel for the power play. A.T. Miller trying to play it. Checked there by Spiza. Spiza lifts it into the Rangers bench.
That ain't ended up going off the stick of Yandel, Sam, so they're going to, the face-off, I believe, comes outside the blue line. Burrows and Kreider bump into each other. There's Lukas Spiza, who had a broken bone in his right hand that took a little time to heal up. He gives them, he solidifies their defense a little bit. He's their most physical defenseman back there. Has good size. And as you mentioned, Sam, he's not an old player, but he's been around a long time.
Saw the numbers for the Rangers. Only one power play goal scored over the last 9 games. 1 for 26.
This morning, Dan Boyle was saying, when those situations happen, the best way to come out of it is just don't pass up the shots. You get the shots, keep shooting it. And he says, Dan Boyle's been around forever and has gone through, many, many slumps and also many, many good stretches on the power play. So he says, when you're in the slump, shoot the puck. Seems like an easy solution, doesn't it?
Sounds simple to me. Midway point of the second period. Game time 1-1. 47 seconds to go on the Rangers power play. Hayes, Megna, and Nash, Boyle, and Zuccarello. This is Jason Megna. His pass tipped. Nash with a back pass out of the zone. Boyle chases back for it. After him, Emerson Edom. Here's Boyle. Too far for Zuccarello. This is an icing on the Rangers. 25 seconds to go in the Rangers power play. Learn what it takes to be a Ranger. Kids ages 7 to 15 are invited to register for the 2016 Youth Hockey Camp presented by Chase. Weekly sessions July 7th through August 5th at MSG's Training Center. Visit NewYorkRangers.com to sign up. Horvat wins the faceoff. Back to Edler. And the Canucks kill time. Good job by Vancouver. Horvat winning a big faceoff. Dan Boyle. Now Kevin Hayes. Moves across. Pass all the way through to Zuccarello. Now Mark Stahl. Zuccarello looking. Pass across. Missed by Boyle. Power play is over. Great pass by Zuccarello. Shot a save. Then the rebound blocked away. Nash fed Zuccarello.
And Biega coming out of the penalty box and did a real nice job. He got right to Zuccarello. I don't think Zuccarello got everything on the shot.
Rangers no shots on goal on that power play. 1-1 the score, 50 to go, second period. Pass off the skate of Hansen. McCann again. Jared McCann. Back pass. Tip to Hutton. Hutton shoots wide. Spiza gets to it. Winds it deep to McCann. Centers. And it was knocked away by Lundqvist. Hutton. To McCann. Toward the net. Save with a left pad by Lundqvist. Hansen was screening on the play. Lundqvist was able to pick it up. Kick it away. Stolberg across to Lindberg. Oscar Lindberg lifts it high in the air. Glove down by Ben Hutton. Hutton lost it to Stolberg. Stolberg trying to get the puck in front. Hutton took it back. Then he lost it to Jesper Fast. Stolberg winds it to Lindberg. Excuse me, that's Dominic Moore just off the bench. Moore comes out and shoots, saved by Miller. McCann bangs it off the boards, knocked down. Good play by McDonough. His shot blocked in front. Spiza got in front of it. Rangers recover.
That's just a young mistake, McCann, the 19-year-old. Plenty of time to clear it out of his zone. He doesn't. It turns into a good scoring chance.
Moore feeding it across. Megna shoots high. Around the boards. Cleared out by Derek Dorsett. Most of the play in this game, and we played 33 minutes, has been in the Vancouver zone. On the move, Yandel. Hard pass. Tipped ahead by Stepan. Played by Alex Biega. Down for Bartkowski. Stopped in the Rangers zone by Yandel. Played across by Stepan, but only Biega is there. Biega off the boards to Bartkowski. Rangers have tightened up, and with all that play in the Vancouver zone, Vancouver with only 15 shots on goal in the game.
Just 4 in this period for Vancouver.
There's Edler. Off the boards. Fired in by Horvat. Bounces past Lundqvist. Girardi tried to play it. Stepan helped out. Here's Yandel. Long pass. Gets by Edler. And Ryan Miller plays it around through Tanev. Able to clear it. Down the ice it goes. No icing. Back for it, Mark Stahl. Now Rick Nash. Bouncing puck. Hutton couldn't play it. Zuccarello takes over. Hutton on him. Nash. Fires back. Stahl shot blocked. Horvat comes out with it. Gets it through to Berchi. Berchi dumps it in. Stahl fights off the Horvat check. Berchi tried to get it to Horvat. Stopped by Mark Stahl. And out for Nash. There's Zuccarello. Stopped at the line. Peels back. Pass behind Kevin Hayes. Fast after the puck. Ryan Miller plays it around to Biega.
Vancouver actually doing a little better job these last 4 or 5 minutes defensively.
Daniel Sedin. Open man. Hansen tries in and missed the net. Oh, great move by Jannik Hansen, but he missed. Race for the puck. Stolberg against Biega. And after Fast. Taken away by Biega. Around the boards, McDonough's got it. Good stick handling. Feed to Girardi with room. And a drive. Save Miller. Rebound. Off the post by Hansen moves in against Girardi, who pokes at it. Hansen stays with it. Here's Alex Edler. Now Tanev down low, deflection saved by Lundqvist on a deflection by Lyndon Vay. Oh man,
Boy, what a save that was. Lundqvist with the right pad.
Rangers hit the post on one end, and Vancouver comes very close to scoring on the other.
Hansen was there as well.
The boards. Emerson Edom for Alex Burrows. Edom after it. Edom controlling. Yandel is there against Lyndon Vay. Here's Emerson Edom. They score! Alex Burrows off the feed from Emerson Edom. And the hard work of that line paid off. They won the battle in the corner. And Burrows in front tips it in 2-1 Vancouver.
Just the sixth shot on goal for Vancouver in this period. The Rangers first have chances down the other end. Foss is there. Look at how he works in front. Gets that chance off the post. That's the fourth post by the Rangers in this game. And then Vancouver goes to work in the corner. Beautiful pass from Emerson Edom, and Burrows just with the little deflection. That's a great pass. Right onto the tape. All Burrows had to do was touch it, redirect it in. And the Canucks, late in the second period, regain the lead.
Now we have a maintenance issue down in the corner where the Zamboni resides. Alex Burrows. And while they take care of the glass in the corner, we will step out for a moment. 3:49 to go in the second period. Rangers trailing 2-1.
Alex Burrows gives the Canucks a 2-1 lead. Here's what happened in the Ranger zone from our Volvo Telestrator as they continue to move the puck around. Rangers in good shape, good shape, good shape, good shape. Stop it there. Still 2-on-2, right? But watch this. That's Megna that goes that way. And so the puck beats two of the Ranger players, goes right on the stick of Emerson Edom, and now he has that kind of a chance. And it's one of those goals where Henrik Lundqvist didn't have a chance. I mean, we've seen those tap-ins around the net, and your goaltender doesn't have a chance to make the save.
Burrows gets the goal, his sixth. Edom and Vay get the assist to 16-11. This is Emerson Edom's fifth game since being traded to the Vancouver Canucks, his first point. As a Vancouver Canuck, he had 3 points in 19 games as a New York Ranger.
Last game he played about 15 minutes, which so his minutes have been increasing. It's an opportunity. Sorry, Sam. Willie Desjardins told him, man, this is your opportunity. You've got to take advantage of this one.
And though the head coach was saying to us, yes, he's an improved player, but he's got to find a way to crack the lineup and stay in the lineup.
He'll get a chance here for sure because they're going younger.
Giveaway to Brandon Prust. The shot was blocked. Rangers take it back. JT Miller with Stepan and Kreider. Played wide of the net. Stepan chases after, takes it back. Lines it to Miller. JT behind the net. Poked away by Ben Hutton. Chased down by Miller. Girardi's pass off the stick of Hayes. Hayes checked by Bartkowski. Kevin Hayes controlling. Leaves it for Girardi. Across to McDonough. Winds up for a drive. And that may have hit Alex Edler. Went wide. There's a chance for JT Miller. Stick save by Ryan Miller. JT winding up for a big slap shot. And icing is whistled against Vancouver with 2:34 to go here in the second. Time for our Cadillac trivia question of the night. We promise it's coming. There it is. Henrik Lundqvist, one of 3 goalies in NHL history to record 11 consecutive 20-win seasons. Who are the other 2?
Well, I think there was one that not too far from here.
Yeah? Okay.
They're putting a statue up for him. Did they put that up yet?
I don't think it's up yet, Joe, but it's coming. Willie Desjardins decides to use a timeout. That timeout brought to you by the Lincoln Motor Company.
You know what? I think it's a good timeout. And the reason being is his team again is giving up shots. 28 for the Rangers to this point, and there's 2:34 to go in this period. He wants to get out of this period with that 2-1 lead. That's what, if he can go into that third period ahead, I'm sure he's thinking we got a pretty good chance of getting some points, especially with the way Ryan Miller is playing in goal. It's been a positive theme for the Vancouver Canucks, their goaltending. Whether it's Markstrom or Ryan Miller, they both have been excellent.
When Miller was out, Markstrom, as I mentioned earlier, went 5-2-1.
Yeah.
It's outstanding.
Really found his game. Roland Melanson is the goaltending coach. He's really helped Markstrom.
Here's a lead for Zuccarello. Breaks to the net. Another chance went wide by Hayes. And then Nash tried to bank it in, but Miller was able to smother it. So the Rangers with another opportunity stop. 2:16 to go in the second. Now for our Coors Banquet Timeless Moment. And we take you back January 19th, 2011. Marian Gaborik against the Toronto Maple Leafs, scoring 4 goals, adding an assist. Henrik Lundqvist had 21 saves. The Rangers won 7-0. That timeless moment, a big one for Marian Gaborik. The LA Kings. The Kings are in first place in the Pacific Division and having a real good bounce-back season after not making the playoffs last season. Verbata gets it out. Then Berchi. Berchi stopped at the line by Yandel. Horvat works it deep. Vancouver with a 2-1 lead. Stepan with Miller. The boards to Kreider. Kreider tries to lead Kevin Klein. And Hutton drops it off to Verbata. Pass behind McCann, taken back by Yandel.
Interesting if Verbata is still a member of this Vancouver team at the trade deadline. Unrestricted free agent. He can score goals. So there's probably a decent market out there for him.
Yep.
A lot of it depends on whether their Vancouver Canucks will still be in it, I think, at the time.
He's good in shootouts, too. Got the most shootout goals, beat the Islanders the other night. Casino night is one of the biggest nights of the year for the New York Rangers organization. All the players dressed to the nines in their tuxedos, playing games of chance, all to benefit the Garden of Dreams Foundation. It takes place March the 1st. Casino night tickets are on sale now. Visit NewYorkRangers.com to purchase your tickets. It's a great event, and we hope you'll be part of it. That hit the post.
Number 5 on the night.
Oh, man. Girardi toward the net. Save made by Miller. Stolberg to Girardi. It went out of the zone. He kicked it back in. Girardi said it stayed on the line. The linesman was right there making the call.
Yeah, right off the face-off. And Ryan McDonagh just lately seems so light on his skates. Look at him, he's just dancing on his skates. This way, that way. Waits, and then the shot off the post behind Miller. The 5th time in this game that the Rangers have hit a post as they continue to trail it by a goal.
Wow.
30 shots on goal for the Rangers, and those 5 posts don't count.
Al Trogwick is standing by in the Visa Gameside studio to welcome the captain. He will be Al's special guest on the New York Lottery Intermission report. That puck lifted out of play. 53.4 seconds remaining here in the second period. And the Rangers trailing 2-1.
We talked about getting points. The Devils winning tonight. They're up 3-1 over Calgary. 3-2 now. Thank you, Sam. And the Washington Capitals in Columbus. Sergei Bobrovsky is back in goal. He's allowed 5. Washington up 5-2 in that one.
Washington just keeps rolling, Joe.
They do.
My goodness.
It's a deep team. Can beat you in a lot of different ways. Holtby's in goal for Washington. Remember, he was pulled because of the dehydration issue against the Rangers, so he's back playing.
McDonagh with a nice move. The outlet to Kevin Hayes. Fires it into the corner. Zuccarello chases it down. Checked by Chris Tanek. 22 seconds to go in the period. Out of the zone, Girardi is there. Lyndon Vey for Vancouver, 10 seconds to go in the period. Tanev's pass gets through to Hansen. Rangers have done a lot of good things in this game. They have controlled the play for the majority of the two periods. But Vancouver has found a way. Burrows got the goal off the hard work in the corner. And Vancouver takes a 2-1 lead to the locker room.
Well, the Rangers have had the puck most of this game. And I think for the Rangers, the key here is not to get frustrated. And don't think that you have to do anything different than you've already done. I mean, you don't want to fall behind by 2 goals the way Ryan Miller's been playing. So for the Rangers, keep concentrating on the defensive part of the game, which they've done a good job, only allowing 17 shots. And that's leading to them getting many, many scoring chances.
Rangers head for the locker room. We head for the Visa Game Side studio to Al Troutwig. Al. We are back getting set for the third period. Rangers and Vancouver Canucks. New York Rangers hockey on MSG is presented by Chase. A lot of posts for the Rangers in this game, Joe.
A lot of shots, 30 shots on goal. That's first shift of the game off the post. Rick Nash through a screen. Ryan McDonough off the post. Jesper Fast with the rebound. Ryan McDonough again. Post and behind the goaltender, Ryan Miller. So the Rangers have done so many things well. Created scoring chances, getting shots, getting chances.
Right near the captain, Ryan McDonough, is our captain, John Giannone. What do you have, John?
Sam, that's exactly what Scott Arniel, the associate coach, said, exactly what Joe just said. He said, look, it's actually pretty good in the room. When I asked him how frustrated are the players that they've hit 5 posts, he said, it's not like we've been shut out a bunch of times. He said, we're getting tons of good opportunities. The goalie is seeing some and making the saves. Sometimes he's not seeing it, making the saves. Sometimes it's hitting the post. So we just have to continue to get traffic, get a guy up in the slot, then get pucks there and fight for the rebounds. He said, we're doing so many good things. When we're in on their D, when we're forechecking, when we're getting through the neutral zone with speed, we're getting so many quality looks and chances. Defensively, the one thing we have to do, he said, when they do get in the zone, we've got to get body on body and don't let them get any chances and work off the cycle.
All right, as Keith Yandel said, the Rangers have been good on home ice in third periods, and they've got to carry that through. Thanks to John for that report. He's always on top of things with the coaches. Stoppage of play right away by Ryan Miller as we start the third period.
Now, really, there's no reason for the Rangers to be all that frustrated where they have to feel like they've got to change their game. They don't have to change anything. Just make sure you defend because, again, this is a Vancouver team that they're used to giving up a lot of shots. Rangers are getting quality scoring chances. Just stay with it.
Face off. Horvat able to move it to Verbata and out to Sven Berchi. Berchi scored the first goal of the game. Stepan tied it in the second period early. Here's a chance deflected over the top off the glass. Yandel pokes at it. And the Canucks took the lead on the Alex Burrows goal. 2-1 Vancouver. Canucks playing Boston and Pittsburgh before completing their 6-game road trip. Lead to JT Miller. Back to Kreider. Kreider moves in. Here's Miller. Saved by Ryan Miller.
Again, the quality chances continue for the Rangers. Miller that time, JT that is, does a nice job trying to, oh wait, little drop pass. He'll get it back here on kind of a broken play. And Ryan Miller just stays with him. Watch it, kind of a broken play. Puck gets through. JT Miller does a good job. And again, when you're in that close, you have to try and get the puck up high.
Hayes, Nash, and Zuccarello on. Hutton trying to move it. There's a penalty call.
This will be against Rick Nash for slashing.
First penalty of the game for the Rangers. It comes at 59 seconds of the third period. The Rangers will have to come through with a big penalty kill here.
Yeah, that's behind the net, the offensive zone penalty by Rick Nash. You'll see there's the chop there. Right on chops the stick of, breaks the stick of Hutton. And that's an easy call for the officials.
Dominic Moore and Jesper Fast on for the Rangers. Nash for slashing at 59 seconds.
And this is where Vancouver really misses Henrik Sedin, the key to their power play.
Pass through. Fast to the net. Wide with a backhand. Jesper Fast with a great short-handed chance. Off a beautiful pass from Dominic Moore. Boy, they work well together. Just missed the finish. Bo Horvat dumps it down the boards. Horvat number 53 burrows the pass back to Vrbata. Around the boards it goes to Daniel Sedin. Now Horvat. Here's Vrbata. Moving down. Back to Alex Edler. Edler, they try to slide a pass through and they didn't get there. Taken away by Derek Stepan. Stepan with Stallberg. High shot bangs off the glass. Vrbata is there. Stepan after it. Edler leads Lyndon Vey. That was stopped by Mark Stahl. 1 minute to go in the Vancouver power play. Early third period. Canucks with a 2-1 lead. Jared McCann lost it to Mark Stahl. Klein moves it. Foss fires it out. Took a hit from Birchie, but able to clear it all the way down. Ben Hutton with 35 seconds to go on the power play. Rangers have Stallberg and Lindberg. Stahl and Klein, the giveaway to Lindberg, leads Victor Stallberg. Ben Hutton stops him. Just off the bench, that's taken away by McDonough. He breaks in and shoots wide. Well, McDonough's hit a couple of posts, that time missed.
Yeah, Rangers have had more chances on this Vancouver power play than the Canucks have had.
Lyndon Vey tried to play it in front. Good defense by the Rangers. There's Dan Girardi on that last play. Taken away by Cracknell. Taken back by McDonough. Power play is over. Vancouver no shots on goal on the power play. Here comes Rick Nash. Rangers down 2-1. Nash moves in with Zuccarello. Nash trying to stuff it in and was stopped by Ryan Miller.
Boy, Miller, just everything. Those leg saves he is making in this game, they're really something, aren't they, Sam? And the Rangers are getting there, but they just can't find a way to get it past him. He is putting on some kind of performance here at the Garden.
Outstanding. Dorset's shot was blocked by Nash. He plays it into the Rangers zone. 3:40 gone by in the third. The lead off the stick of Boyle. Played back by Tanev to Edler. Up ahead. A pass taken away by Stepan. Tried to lead JT Miller. Edler tied him up. It's whistled down for an offside on the Rangers. 3:54 gone by in the third.
Well, not a very good power play by Vancouver, and the Rangers outstanding penalty killing. And there's the move by Fost, and he has the puck just roll off the end of his stick. Good move. And you can just see, boy, he's had some chances. We've showed him hitting the post earlier in the game, and he's had some real good chances, and he can't find a way to finish.
Each team 0 for 1 on the power play in the game. JT Miller broke his stick, gets a new one from the bench. Gets his skates by. Stahl was able to move it to Kreider. Here's Miller. Double team. Spiza got a piece of it. Hutton takes it back for Vancouver. Spiza up the boards for Edom. Edom had it blocked by Klein. Taken away by Stepan. Miller. JT against Hutton. And Emerson Edom able to clear it out. Now Kreider back to Klein. 4.5 minutes gone by in this third period. Rangers have not led in this game. Vancouver scored the first goal midway through the first period and run for the 9-minute mark. Rangers tied it early in the second. Vancouver late in the second regained the lead. McDonough under pressure from Horvat. Maintains possession. Girardi. Vancouver sending one man in on a forecheck very aggressively. Jason Megna moves in with speed. Pulls up against Bartkowski. Back pass. Played toward the net. Saved by Miller. Popped in the air and he gloved it. Oh, Girardi with a smart move. He found a way to get that puck through.
Yeah, the Rangers have been able to use their speed through the neutral zone and gain the blue line most of the night. And Megna with a nice little turn there and Girardi right off the pass, just gets it through. And Miller, when he made the save, that puck bounced up in the air. He snatched it quickly with his catching glove.
5:09 gone by in the third. Face-off win by the Canucks. Tannen tried to clear it. Good job by Boyle to keep it in. Edler works away from Zuccarello. Fires ahead. Nash tipped it. All the way after it was Dorsett. Ridden to the boards by Boyle. Boyle lost the stick. He did some pushing and shoving. Zuccarello cleared it from in front. Dorsett comes out of the corner. He stopped. Edler to Tanev. Tanev waits, shoots, blocked. Might have hit his own man. Brandon Prost, that pass for Edler off his stick. Yandel after him. Now Dorsett. Tied up by Yandel. Trying to play it in front. Cracknell lost it. And out of the zone comes Kevin Hayes with Zuccarello. Down the middle, Nash. That's broken up by Cracknell. Picked up by Yandel. Yandel took a hit. Here's Zuccarello. Fires! And it's in the equipment of Spiza. Right in the midsection. And the whistle stops for a face-off. 6:08 gone by. Third period. Rangers trailing 2-1. Tonight on MSG, on the Garden's defining moments, what happens when a curse turns into a blessing. Go inside the Rangers' 1994 Stanley Cup Final against the Vancouver Canucks.
I don't know which is longer, the 54 years or the last 15 minutes of the third period. Every shift that I sat in the bench and watched when the Canucks would come over the red line, I'd just start to hold my breath.
Pass the running, now to Jelena, hit the post!
Anytime the puck was turned over, whether you didn't get it out at the blue line, you could hear the whole gasp in the Garden. But that's what made it so special.
The Garden's defining moments. Rangers Canucks 94 final, presented by SAP. Tonight, immediately after Rangers post-game coverage, right here on MSG. Don't miss it. It'll bring back some wonderful, wonderful memories.
Rangers 33 shots in this game thus far. Nash with 5, Stallberg 5, JT Miller 4, Stepan 3.
Defensively, the Rangers have not given up a shot on goal here in the third period to the Canucks. Stepan to Kreider. Kreider checked there by Tanev. Up the boards, taken away by Hansen. Now Nick Hansen for Daniel Sedin, a bouncer in front. And Horvat swings it around the boards. Tanev, and it's taken away. Stepan fires it off the corner boards. Kreider is there, checked by Tanev. Good job by Chris Tanev.
Tanev,
what a play.
Yeah, he's been their most consistent defenseman this season. They say he's a lot like James Patrick. Short shifts, ready to go right away. Kind of a quiet player. He makes a solid play, so you don't really notice him.
Good skater, no doubt. You saw it right there. All the way down. Icing on the Canucks. 7:08 gone by here in the third. The upcoming schedule is brought to you by Lexus, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Rangers. Friday night on MSG2, 7 p.m. start, Rangers at the Carolina Hurricanes. Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. on MSG, Rangers at the Ottawa Senators. Monday night on NBC Sports Network and ESPN New York Radio, 7:30 p.m. Rangers and the Buffalo Sabres. And then the All-Star break. Zuccarello gets knocked down by Edler. Puck cleared by Spiza. Zuccarello, Edler on him. His long arms and the long stick up, Edler was able to poke it clear. Boyle sending it ahead. Bartkowski gets over. Nash fires across. Zuccarello's got it. He shoots, save Miller. Zuccarello trying to look across and fake Miller out. Miller stayed with him. Hand pass whistled against the Rangers in the offensive zone.
Another excellent scoring chance for the Rangers. This time the long pass all the way across, and Zuccarello, look at this scoring chance. And Miller over in good position. Imagine the Vancouver coaching staff, Sam, in the last number of games, or every game, they're giving up over 40 shots. They're going quality shot after quality chance. It gives you an idea how young they are and inexperienced.
And missing some key players. Shot by Klein, save Miller. Rebound, stuff in, try blocked by Miller. Big chance by Victor Stolberg. Now Bartkowski gets into it with Oscar Lindberg. Victor Stolberg had the big chance at the side of the net and was denied by Miller.
Yeah, he did everything right. Kevin Klein gets the puck through, just the wrist shot, and he does everything right. Watch, instead of just jamming it into the pads, he pulls it over to the other side. Around him, but Miller has been this good tonight. He's able to put the pad out first, then realizes that his legs aren't quite long enough to go all the way to the post. So he just rolls over, gets the glove over there, and does a real good job preventing a goal. What a chance again by Victor Stolberg. Boy, he has had some chances in this game.
Look at those numbers over the last two games. The Islander game, he won in a shootout. And this one, Rangers 36 shots with 11:50 to go in the third period. And Vancouver leading it 2-1. JT Miller all the way across for Kreider. Good pass. Kreider against Tanev. In front, and it's knocked away. Oh, man, long shot. Right pad save by Miller. McDonough to step on. Step on against Tanev. Out to Girardi. Toward the net. The deflection goes into the corner. McDonough. Edler hit by Kreider. Kreider moves the puck. Girardi tries to get it to Kreider. Goes all the way around to McDonough. McDonough maintains possession. Turns and shoots. Save Miller. Rebound, another save. JT Miller trying to stuff it in. And Ryan Miller is on top of it.
Boy, what a play again by McDonough. McDonough has made so many excellent saves at the offensive blue line tonight. He makes another one here. He'll fake two Vancouver players into thinking he's going one way. Watch out, the fake. There they go, and here he goes the other way and gets the wrist shot through again. Miller with the save, somehow finds the puck and the rebound and is able to hold on with JT Miller right there. Girardi also trying to find the loose puck, and Miller now has faced 40 shots.
This is amazing. This is just amazing.
40 shots for the Rangers and 5. Oh boy.
The linesman was hit in the head. Spica tried to fire it off the glass, and it hit the linesman right in the head. That's Steve Miller. I believe that's Steve Miller.
I believe it is, Sam. Boy, oh boy, you could just hear that.
Oh. Not much protection there.
I don't think he had the you know, sometimes there's a plastic, kind of a plastic piece that goes across the ears to protect the ears, but I don't think he's got that on. And here it comes again. Oh boy. Oh boy, let's hope he's all right. That's a great sign here. He's back on his feet. These guys do such a good job.
That'll be a headache.
You know, I know, but you know what? They're like players. They don't want to leave the game. They don't want to stop doing their job. Boy, that hurt too. No,
take 2 aspirin and call me in the morning.
Got him right in the ear, and that ear is red. Now he's trying to laugh it off a little bit.
See a smile on his face.
Boy, oh boy. Yeah, they're giving him a nice ovation. Good for them here at the Garden. These guys, I'll tell you what, they are dedicated people.
No doubt about that. And Steve Miller is okay. That's the good news. They resume play. Nash to Hayes. Hayes for Nash. Tipped away. Yandel to Hayes. Hayes winds it around to Nash. Checked by Ben Hutton. Nash stopped by Hutton. Good play by Hutton, who banks it off the boards out of the zone. Canucks have not had a shot on goal in this third period. We've played 9 minutes, 23 seconds. Offside on the play, Vancouver. Rangers trailing 2-1. Experience the lounges at Madison Square Garden, a spectacular group and hospitality space on the bridge level. For more info, call 212-465-6080 or visit NewYorkRangers.com. Face-off win by McCann. The shoot-in deflects high in the air. Rubbed down by McDonough. He's a good baseball player. Former first baseman. Off the boards. Too far for Tanner Glass. Miller got a piece of it. Rangers take over. Dominic Moore. Shot by McDonough. Save! And no rebound. Tanner Glass was there looking for a rebound. First looking for a deflection. And Ryan Miller again stops the puck.
Ryan McDonough again has done such a great job of getting the shot through. This time, no hesitation at all. And there's Tanner Glass waving at it, and it gets Ryan Miller right in the crest, and he's able to control the puck.
There you see the shots on goal here in the third. 41-17 for the game, 11-0 here in the third period. Victor Stolberg against Chris Cannon. Stolberg going strong to the net. Was stopped. Good job by Emerson Edom. And Edom brings it out. Girardi with Lyndon Bay on him. Fost. Nice little pass. Sends out Lindbergh. Backhands it into the Vancouver zone. But it's going to be an icing. Oscar Lindbergh, not a good play.
Well, he was trying to flip it up in the air because he saw Stolberg flying down the wing and anticipating that maybe he could dump it in and Stolberg would get there first. Didn't work.
Coming up, the Foxwoods Final Five. Foxwoods, the wonder of it all. 9:49 to go here in the third. McCann and Lindbergh for the faceoff. And the Rangers don't come away with it. It's kept in on the line by Biega. McCann up the boards. A pass on the line. A deflection in front and a takeaway by Lindbergh. Good play by Lindbergh. As he's in front of Jannik Hansen. That's pushed out of the zone. Lindbergh's got it. Rangers have to get onside. Mark Stahl. And Boyle circles back. Berchi on the forecheck for Vancouver. Boyle. Lead to J.T. Miller. Around it goes, and Ryan Miller stops it. Hands it to Alex Biega. Missed it. Shot by Kreider went wide. Dan Boyle winds up. Big drive intercepted in front. Brought out by Horvat. Feed to Verbala. The shot, that hit the handle of the shaft of the stick of Henrik Lundqvist.
First shot on goal for Vancouver.
And that was touched with a high stick and play stops. 8:38 to go. Third period, Rangers trailing 2-1. Let's answer the Cadillac trivia question. Henrik Lundqvist, one of 3 goalies in NHL history to record 11 consecutive 20-win seasons. Who are the other 2, Joe?
Well, across the river there, of course, you got Marty Brodeur.
And the other one?
Not sure, Sam.
The coach of the Colorado Avalanche.
Oh, Patrick
Waugh.
Okay.
No. Oh. I was sure it was Patrick Waugh. I wanted it to be Tony Esposito.
You were so sure. You were so sure.
Come on.
You know what? I'm sure it's a mistake.
It's got to be, right?
You were too sure of that.
It had to be Patrick Waugh. I'm calling Patrick up. Will you give me Patrick on the phone, please? There's Nash, that last play off the side of the net. That's firing. Score! Matt Zuccarello! Off a beautiful pass! Has tied it at 2.
And Miller got surprised by a long shot, a long wrist shot, and Nash was just off to the side and got a piece of it, and then Miller loses his stick. There's the deflection, and there you see Miller lose his stick, his own man. Knocks the stick out of his hand, now he can't use that, and Zuccarello is there. Here it is again, and right through the legs where he normally would have the stick It's not there. Can't stop it. Zuccarello ties it.
Matt Zuccarello, who had gone 7 games without a goal, ties the game. Just over 8 minutes to go. That hit the outside of that. Kreider taking the shot. Pass intended for Stepan was intercepted by Hutton, who pushes it into the Rangers' zone. Around the boards, played away from Burrows to JT Miller. Now the crowd is alive. With a Let's Go Rangers chant. 7:40 to go in the third. Rangers have come back to tie this game twice. They have never led in the game. Needham put it in the Rangers zone. McDonough fires it ahead and Kreider. Stepan takes a hit, plays it deep, whistled down for an offside.
Yeah, the Rangers shot after shot after shot. Ryan Miller been fantastic in this game. Loses his stick there. So now he tries to use just the blocker glove without that stick. Normally he's got it flat on the ice. That probably doesn't go in if he has his stick in his hand, and Zuccarello scores it.
Excellent pass out of the corner from Keith Yandel, who had gone deep on the play.
Sure was.
Zuccarello's 17th. He leads the Rangers in goals scored. Yandel and Nash the assist at 11:46. Rick Nash with assists on both goals in the game. It's lifted out. Daniel Sedin was stopped. Well, he looks lost without Henrik.
I'm going to say the same thing. He has been very quiet. He hasn't touched the puck hardly all night.
Rangers negate the icing with good hustle. Jesper Fast around the net. Leaves it for Dominic Moore just off the bench. Winds it for Victor Stolberg. Now trying to get it back to Fast, but he was checked by Biega. Out comes Jannik Hansen. His shot blocked by Yandel. Kevin Klein able to play it. Klein has come back and looked fine in this game after that thumb injury hit with a shot. In the game in Philadelphia, good play by Ryan Miller. Canucks come out with 6:20 to go in the third, tied 2-2. That's off the glass, deep in the Rangers zone. Lundqvist plays it for Boyle. Zuccarello picks it up. Try to get it to Kevin Hayes. And Ryan Miller pokes it in the corner. Hayes couldn't take it. Berchi sent out Vrbata. Vrbata looking, shooting, save, Lundqvist. Second shot on goal of the period for Vancouver. 5:50 to go in the third. Rangers 44 shots in the game. Long lead to Stepan. Kreider gets to it. Stepan in deep is pulled down by Bartkowski. Ooh, it looked like it might have been a holding call. Here's Stepan. Bartkowski with one arm just pulled Stepan down. Kreider's got the puck. He's deflected across. In deep, McDonough to Stepan, down to JT Miller. To McDonough, saved by Ryan Miller. Trying to control the puck, couldn't do it. It's lifted out of the zone. Down the ice it goes. Back for it is Girardi. It's an icing on Vancouver with 5:12 to go. United by Blue. Game day and every day. Experience the official Rangers app to connect to breaking news, enhanced calendar, and a whole lot more. The official Rangers app. Download it now. You'll love it. That's Zuccarello. Team leading 17th goal. Eric Stepan had the other goal. In the second period, Rangers have come back to tie twice. 5:12 to go in the third. Stolberg against Lyndon Vay. Spiza moves it up the board. Stopped by Yandel. Keeps it in. Spiza gave it away to Fast. Dominic Moore looking. Two men there. He feeds Yandel. Now Dan Boyle back to Keith Yandel. Yandel fires a pass. That shot off the post again. Miller may have gotten a piece of it.
I don't think so. I think you're right the first time, Sam.
There's Fast coming in.
Oh, boy, they just keep giving the puck away, and the Rangers keep the pressure on. And Miller was late getting over to that side because he couldn't see the puck. He didn't know where the pass went.
Pressure by Vancouver on the forecheck. McDonough was able to clear it out. Tanev sends it across to Daniel Sedin. McDonough off the boards to Hayes. A "Let's Go Rangers" chant again up from the crowd. Game tied 2-2 with 4:15 to go in the third. Hayes pass through, taken by Tanev. Back the other way, Jannik Hansen. Stopped by McDonough. Zuccarello leads Nash. Nash drops it back. The pass broken up by Cracknell. Now Berchi moves in. Berchi against Klein. Klein stopped him. Hayes to McDonough. Boy, McDonough hasn't left the ice in the last 5 minutes.
Or so it seemed. He's had the puck a lot. He's made a lot of plays.
Zuccarello looking. Feed to Kevin Klein. Hutton after the puck. Ryan Miller plays it around to Biega. Biega's pass a giveaway. Shot by Kreider. Saved by Miller. Kreider again to the side of the net. Stepan's got it. Checked by Hutton. Stepan up the board. JT Miller with the back pass out of the zone. Stahl sends it across. Vancouver changing. Rangers move in. Stepan, that shot off the leg of Hutton and out of play. 3:12 to go in the third period. Rangers have 46 shots on goal. They have tied the game at 2 on the Zuccarello goal.
Yeah, there's a good look at Dominic Moore. What a chance Dominic Moore had. Look at that wide open net. He misfires on the shot. It goes under his stick, under another stick, through the legs of Miller, and off the post. Post number 6. And that's how he felt about that.
You're watching the Foxwoods Final 5. Foxwoods, the wonder of it all. Visit foxwoods.com. Vancouver Canucks have played 29 one-goal games this season.
They're comfortable.
They played 17 overtime games this season. And it's getting close to that time. Edler moves it. Bartkowski, that was sent in by Burrows. Corner boards Yandel to Boyle. Burrows missed it. Dominic Moore lifts it out. Stahlberg. Then Duvay clears it out for Vancouver. Fost back to Yandel. 2:45 to go in regulation time. Boyle to Stahlberg. Stahlberg's had a real good game.
I think his best game of the season.
Fox shoots, stick to side by Tanev. Stahlberg puts it in front, and it's cleared out by Bay to Burrows. Burrows dumps it in. Boyle back for it, 2:25 to go. Tied 2-2. Boyle holding, setting up the breakout.
It's the most shots the Rangers have had in any game this season.
Stopped by Hutton, that's off the stick of McCann. One plays it to McDonough. Round it goes past Girardi. Rangers come out. Kreider lifts it in and chases against Hutton. Under 2 minutes to go in regulation time. Spiza. Stepan in the corner. Spiza moved it. Hansen takes a hit. Puck pops loose and is brought out by Ben Hutton. Hutton against Girardi. Deflects it out of play up into the netting. 1:39 to go in this third period. Stay tuned. Following all the action on the ice, we've got complete post-game coverage coming your way on Mercedes-Benz. Rangers post-game, we'll hear from head coach Alain Vigneault. John Giannone will talk to the players in the locker room. We've got the post-game coverage anchored in the studio out Troutwig with Steve Valiquette and Ron Duguay. Joe Micheletti and Dave Maloney have their analysis here at the Garden. All coming up on Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame right after the completion of this game. Minute 38 to go, regulation time, tied 2-2. Rangers 46 shots on goal, Vancouver 19.
Bo Horvat, by the way, one of these young centers. He's been good on face-offs in this game.
Zuccarello wins this one. And Kevin Klein moves it. Nash chips it out of the zone, picks it up. Stopped by Biega. Minute and a half to go in regulation time. Kevin Klein back for it. Now Mark Stahl.
Yeah, baby.
Berchi on the forecheck. Zuccarello. Nash surrounded. Puck brought out by Vrbata. Leads Horvat. Klein on him. Klein went down, under a minute to go in regulation time. Hayes. Moving it across, stopped by Tanev. The lead just missed Alex Burrows. Burrows has scored the second goal of the game for Vancouver. Archie got the first one. Rangers goals by Stepan and Zuccarello. Pass in front, intercepted by Emerson Edom. Edom on in the final minute of regulation time. Coach showing a lot of confidence in him. Under 30 seconds to go. Tanev to Vey. Lyndon Vey surrounded, tied up by Jesper Fast. Emerson Edom checked by Girardi. Moore played it back to McDonough. McDonough heads up with 15 seconds to go. McDonough puts it deep into the Vancouver zone. Alex Edler's got it. Around the board, Girardi. And McDonough looks. Pass to Kreider. Shot blocked. Overtime. Another overtime game for Vancouver. Their 18th of the season. They lead the league. The Rangers get a point out of this one. Coming back to tie it. 2-2 heading for OT. Welcome to the New York Life Overtime Report. New York Life Insurance Company. Keep good going. All right, here's how we got here.
Well, the first goal of this game, Bo Horvat. What a move that was. And Barchi in front scores. That made it 1-0. And then the Rangers, this was a delayed penalty. And Derek Stepan ties it when the Rangers had 6 men on the ice. And then Vancouver regains the lead. Alex Burrows with a little deflection off of the Emerson Edom set up, and then late in the game, Matt Zuccarello, 17th goal of the season, ties it.
Long discussion going on in center ice. Dominic Moore with one of the linesmen and one of the referees as well. The linesman is Johnny Murray, and the referee was Chris Rooney. Discussion breaks up.
So the Devils win. That's a division opponent of the Rangers. So they defeat Calgary 4-2 tonight.
Philadelphia's tied in their game 2-2. They might tie the Canucks if they go to overtime again. There's associate coach Scott Arniel diagramming plays for his team. 3-on-3 this season. Vancouver 7-10 overall in overtime games. 3-8 in the 3-on-3. The Rangers 4-5 overall. 2-3 in the 3-on-3. 5-minute overtime.
Well, for Vancouver, the overtime games, they've won 4 of their last 5. So they started off, I think, 0-7-4 in overtime, but they've improved.
A lot of that, 4 of those wins have come in the shootout. Rangers begin the overtime. Chris Kreider, Derek Stepan, Ryan McDonough. Stepan. Boom, collision. Kreider and Vrbata.
Yeah, I don't think either one saw the other one coming. Boy, they both went down heavily.
Kreider's on the bench. He's shaken up. Vrbata just getting to the bench. Now Jannik Hansen swings it around to Daniel Sedin. And it's brought out of the zone by Alex Edler. Now Daniel Sedin leads Hansen. Yandel checks him and blocks the pass. Zuccarello is on with Nash and Yandel. Good pass through Nash. Nash moves in. Nash drives to the net. Saved by Miller. The stick was broken on the play. That's Edler's stick. Yandel's pass blocked. Edler got a stick from Jannik Hansen, a right-handed stick, and he cleared it out.
A little problem making that pass.
Minute 25 gone by in the overtime. Zuccarello left it. Pass across JT Miller. Spinning. Comes back outside with it, feeds Yandel. Zuccarello still on. Feed to Yandel. Pressured on the play, and the takeaway to lead to Ben Hutton. Hutton breaks in, goes for the net, saved by Lundqvist. He almost overplayed it. There's McCann shooting, blocked by Zuccarello. That hurt. Garchi leaves it for Hutton. Hutton checked by J.T. Miller. Now it's McCann. Zuccarello's without a stick. Oh, excuse me. He bumps into Miller.
He's just tired. Yeah. Out there forever. He made a good defensive play on Hutton to not allow him to get a shot. Lundqvist still had to make the save.
J.T. Miller carried it deep. Rangers changed the other two. Kevin Hayes and Dan Boyle have come on. Bartkowski played it back to Garchi. Garchi the outlet to Lyndon Vey. 2.5 minutes to go in the overtime. Vey picking up speed. Moving across. Feed for Emerson Edom. Edom checked by Dan Boyle. Edom keeps it alive. Feeds Lyndon Vey. Gets it back. Kevin Hayes checking Edom. Here's Vey. Now it's taken out of the zone by Chris Tatum, and he goes back into his own zone, allowing a line change lead to Vey. It's a pass blocked by Kevin Hayes. Step on after it. Minute 50 to go in the overtime. Step on. Moves in. Deep against Alex Edler. There's a broken stick on the ice. Stepan's got a man open, but that went off of Edler. He had Nash breaking to the net. Bo Horvat drops it back. Vrbata moves deep. Vrbata blocked. Good play by Derek Stepan. Stepan tries to get it to McDonough. Goes through to Nash. Nash off the boards to McDonough. The Rangers captain looks. Fires across to Stepan. Pass back off the skate of Vrbata. Played by McDonough. 1:10 to go in the overtime. J.T. Miller shoots. Save. Rebound. Score! Score! J.T. Miller wins it in overtime. The Rangers stuck with it. J.T. Miller stuck with it and finally beat Ryan Miller. And the Rangers come away with a big 3-2 win.
Well, Matt Zuccarello had a long shift in overtime. But how about him maybe saving a goal here? Look at that defensive play, lifting the stick. Lundqvist still had to make the save, but he prevented a shot. And then J.T. Miller, he'll come off the bench right now. On the ice. Now the pass. Stays with it. Shot. Miller didn't know where it was. J.T. Miller did. And finishes it off with the wraparound overtime goal. There it is again. McDonough. What a game McDonough played. Miller doesn't know where it is. That's why he was slow getting across. J.T. Miller saw it on the way. And here's where McDonough makes a good play. Stepan needs to make a change. Miller comes out. He has to wait for Stepan to get there before he can get into play. McDonough waited. Miller finishes it. What a game. And what a finish for Henrik Lundqvist and the Rangers.
His 21st win. And the Rangers win 3-2 in overtime. 3 stars of the game brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers on the web at MBUSA.com. Well, no matter what, Ryan Miller's got to get it. He's got to get a star for sure.
Tonight's 3 stars of the game presented by Geico.
J.T. Miller got his 10th goal of the season from McDonough and Stepan at 3:54 of overtime.
Miller.
And there he is. And he ties his goal total of last season when he had 10. Do whatever you can to stay in the lineup.
Yeah, you know what, and that's what he's doing. You know, he still makes some mistakes. Everybody does, but his growth as a hockey player has been real steady this season.
Ryan Miller, the number 2 star, number 1 star coming up with a great play, as you mentioned, and scoring a goal in the game, Matt Zuccarello.
Well, he scored that goal, and then the defensive play and the effort when I thought he was on a gas in overtime. But he comes back to make the play. Wasn't easy. The Rangers had 49 shots and come back to win it in overtime.
Rangers 4-0-1 in their last 5 home games. Beat the Canucks in overtime. We'll be right back.